March Madness.
The madness has been brought over to the Chosen Sports homies. It's me, Mikey Dell. We got D Money over there, delirious as a motherfucker, and we got Chenny, always off his ass as usual. And we're going to be going over a little bit of the craziness that's been going on with March Madness so far. So, Chenny, how about you rip it off? Let's get it going, buddy.
March Madness is back after COVID struck it from us last year. Obviously, COVID hit directly in March, and that struck March Madness fun right out of fucking contention in March 2020. So March 2021, we're back. We're already seeing some crazy shit going on, some big upsets, whatnot, and some fucking teams you would never expect being in the tournament. I know D Money. I know if you want to speak on them first, but I know you're really high on Gonzaga. Obviously, a lot of people are. Do you want to go into that at all?
Yeah, the Zags are not losing. They're going undefeated. That's that. I think they'll win every game by 10 plus.
It hasn't been a close game yet, although they played an 8-seed Oklahoma and they blew them out by like 17 points, and then a 16-seed Norfolk State and blew them up by almost over 40 points. So they played two teams that weren't on the same skill level. They're getting a 5-seed Creighton in the Sweet 16, which could be interesting, but I don't think Creighton has enough. I honestly, in my bracket personally, I have a 95% bracket right now too, actually, by the way. So cheers to me on that. But this is my first year, so pretty good for me. I'm proud of myself. But looking at the bracket, Creighton, they beat a UCSB team that's not very strong. But although that was a popular upset pick, I actually picked them to lose in the first round. So that just goes to show you how confident I am in them. And they ended up beating the 13 seed Ohio in the next round. So this is going to be a way tougher test for them in the Sweet 16. I think that Gonzaga will definitely get it done in that matchup. But Gonzaga hasn't really been tested yet either by a good team. This is the highest seed by far they played. And if they run into one of these other teams that are, some of the top dogs, I think it'll be a lot closer. I mean, I know Gonzaga's just pretty much ran away with the table most of the year. They're undefeated, but I think history will repeat itself. And, in every other March Madness tournament, we've never seen an undefeated team win at all. Even the stacked like Zion, fucking RJ Barrett, Cam Reddish team was that, everybody thought was going to run the tournament. They lost. So, I mean, it's definitely possible that Gonzaga can lose, even with all the talent they have. I mean, they're loaded, but I just think that history will repeat itself. But I know Dill is really high on them winning it all, which I can definitely see too, because they're heavy favorites. But
nah, bro, it's all about Bama. Bama basketball is actually good for once. They got to go all the way, baby. They got to make Saban proud. Yeah. Saban for carrying the torch for that whole school.
Bama, I have going to actually the finals. I have them in my bracket. I have them playing Baylor in the finals. I actually, as crazy as this sounds, I have Oregon knocking off Gonzaga in the Elite Eight. So I'm pretty high on Oregon. I like how their team plays. They're really scrappy, gritty. They're up in your face, and they just have a lot of slept-on talent. I think they have a good program, good coach, and I think that they'll make a splash. And they already started by making a splash in the round of 32. They beat the 2-seed Iowa Hawkeyes, who were heavy favorites to move on. They were probably one of the favorites. I actually picked them in one of my other brackets as well. I have two brackets, one for my work league and one for just a community league with my buddies. But Iowa had probably the best player in the country, Luka Garza. He's a center. He's fucking disgusting, big boy down low, but he was scoring all over the place. And Oregon had him in tears, bro. He was crying on his way off the court. So, they ruined his perfect finish, and he's going to be probably a very high draft pick. And the kid dominated all year, broke a bunch of records and stuff for Iowa basketball and shit. So he's a baller, and I felt bad for the kid because I know he wanted to bring his team a lot farther than the round of 32. Not how I predicted to go out as a 2-seed, but Oregon, like I said, I picked them early to go to the Final Four. Actually, yeah, picked them into the Final Four, and I had them losing to Alabama. So we'll see how that works. I mean, that's my sleeper pick. Oregon moving on all the way to the Final Four, not finishing it, but getting to the Final Four would be pretty impressive for a 7-seed.
That Oregon win was very that was something serious. That kid Luka had like 36 points and they still smoked him.
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't the contest the whole game. I watched it. I was actually in work. I was slacking off in work, doing my thing. Watch it. I mean, that's the price you have to pay when you have games on at like noon.
Ooh, I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
they made a run at the end of the first half, and then after that, it was all done.
I watched the whole thing start to finish, and it was just a very convincing win for Oregon. They outplayed them from start to finish, and even being a few seeds behind them, I just thought they looked like the better team. They were
Oh yeah,
they just slept on. The Pac-12 is representing strong right now, and they're showing up in big ways. The Pac-12 is alive and well right now going into Sweet 16. But they do have a tall task coming though. They're playing USC, who is a really solid team. I think USC got a lot in the tank, and they're coming off a good win against Kansas. They beat the 3 seed Kansas team. So I mean that's by a fucking landslide too, 85-51. They kicked their ass. You know what I mean? So that was a very shocking team.
Yeah, that was surprising.
Yeah, Kansas is always in the mix. You know what I mean? So it's like you always expect them to be one of those teams in the Sweet 16, but they really came to play. They're not messing around.
Yeah.
Looking at some of the big upsets in the first round, Ohio, the 13 seed, beat the defending champions Virginia in the first round. Although they were going through some COVID protocols, didn't have some of their better players. Still, no one picked that to happen. They were a 4 seed. They lost to a 13 seed to start it off. So that was one of the biggest upsets. I actually picked Ohio to win that one because I heard about the COVID shit that was going on with them. And, anything COVID related and mixing that with people, missing practice and missing the game. And I was like, okay, that's a recipe for disaster. So I got to pick Ohio there. So I actually took them to upset them, and it did happen.
UNC, they lost in the first round.
That's
it was the first time.
Yeah.
I think head coach, what's his name? Roy. Can't think of him right now, but he was 30-0 in the first round in the tournament, and it was his first round exit.
Yeah, you don't see that
too often. Crazy.
You do not see that too often. Syracuse is making a fucking run. I picked them in one of my brackets to win the first round, and there was an upset in there too because they played a 6 seed San Diego State team that's pretty solid, but they ended up beating them very convincingly. Went on to beat a 3 seed West Virginia, so obviously a very good West Virginia team, and now they're going on to play Houston, which is a very, very good team. So that'll be a very, very good matchup. And Syracuse is one of the teams that are always in the mix, but they were all the way down to an 11 seed this year, so that's how you just know how a little bit wacky shit is because they were an 11 seed, but they're back in the Sweet 16 again. But just going around looking at some more upsets that happened.
Illinois.
Yeah, Illinois was in the second round, so that was in the round of 32. They played Loyola Chicago with that fucking old lady that she's just a good luck charm, man. She just goes over there, watches all the games, and they win every fucking time.
She put a curse on them, bro. She used her old school voodoo. Fucking old little witch.
Probably. They're gonna hope she makes it till the next game. Yeah, honestly, they really can make it. They could honestly have a good shot at going to the Final Four just because they're playing a 12 seed Oregon State team who honestly just had a very impressive win against Oklahoma State and Cade Cunningham, who is one of the best players in the country right now. So they pretty much beat them pretty good. Beat them by 10 points, which they were heavy underdogs. So props to Oregon State for making it this far. They weren't supposed to. And they beat a fucking 5 seed Tennessee team as well. So I mean, they're doing very, very well. They're hot right now. But Loyola Chicago beat Illinois with very, very convincingly. They beat them by over almost 20 points. Okay, this is a 1 seed Illinois team. Barely had any losses on the year. Had some of the top players in the country. They had the fucking guy. He's a really cool name, Ayo Dunsumu or Sunmu or something like that. But he was a baller, dude. This guy walks out with a mask on, balling. He had that face mask shit on because he broke his nose. But it's just he was a fucking baller. But they sent him back in the second round. So Loyola Chicago just has a good chance to go because they're playing a lower seed again now in the Sweet 16. They're not getting a higher seed. So technically, if you want to call it by seeding, they have more talent, whatever, better record, and they're hot, obviously. But then they'll move on and they'll play the winner of the Syracuse-Houston game. And, if Syracuse pulls it out, they'll have a chance to play 2 seeds lower than them back-to-back and get into the lead and into the Final Four. So I definitely could see them making a run and going all the way, seeing their confidence must be sky high from beating that Illinois team. So,
bro, I think not even just beating Illinois. I think beating them when they had to do with a mask on. You look at whenever these dudes, in the NBA, for example, when they got the mask on, mask LeBron, mask Kobe, mask Kyrie, they always drop 40, 50 bombs when they got the mask on. I don't know what it is.
It's you put a different spell on them, but that's just how shit works.
It's like an intimidation factor. It's almost I'm gonna go Michael Myers mode and just kill your ass,
Yeah, they really do. They turn into a different animal when they fucking wear that shit. It's kind of funny. But even in the first round, dude, some of the crazy upsets, like Texas lost. I had Texas going all the way to where did Texas going? I had Texas going to the Sweet 16. So they lost in the first round. They were a 3 seed. They lost to Abigail Christian by a point. I was watching that game in a fucking cigar bar with Big Vin.
Who?
Abigail Kristen. Yep, that's that too.
Bro.
Yeah. So they upset a fucking Texas team that was a 3 seed that a lot of people even had picking into Elite 8, Final Four territory. They were a pretty solid team. Got sent packing. So that was a huge upset. And then UConn too had one of the best players in the league as well, James Bouknight. This kid is pretty solid too. And he's just a crazy scorer, can put up an immense amount of points quickly. He has a great, shot creation, off ball, movement. He's, was the vocal point of that offense and was a solid player. And the way I looked at my bracket when I was making it, since I'm newly getting into March Madness, I look at the way his NBA was too, because, NBA is like the dominant players usually win this game. That's why I picked Iowa to win actually in my other bracket, because not only were they high seed, but they had the best player, by stats in the country. So I just thought he'd dominate the big man down low, but ended up getting sent home packing in that second round. So I guess college is a lot different. I love how they do a 1-game elimination in this. I think it makes it so much more fun to watch. Anybody has a chance to win, and it's different every year. I love it. It's not like fucking LeBron just running the table every year. It gets mad annoying. So,
yeah, it's more of a Cinderella story. You know what I mean? Yeah. So many of the big teams, like you were mentioning earlier, like that Duke team when they had Zion, RJ, and Cam. Mm-hmm. That happens almost every year. Like Duke's almost the top team almost every year. They always have like the best talent, and they always get swept. Or they always get dumped off like the one game and they're out. They'll read out the first.
The best team is the team that's most consistent and can pull out some of these scrappy games at the end, because like you got to have a motor of like 100%. These games are coming at you flying. You don't have a lot of game time to prepare for anybody, and it's one game, do or die. So every player, like that's why I love it, because every player is literally putting everything they have on the line. There's no fucking off days. There's no if we lose this game, we'll be back tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's just I just love the playoff format. I think it's awesome. There's new winners every year. I love it.
Well, they're fighting for a spot on the NBA roster too. You know what I mean? All these scouts and all these coaches are watching these games. So if you haven't been able to pop off that much in the in the regular season, and come March Madness time, if you can pop off and put on, then your draft stock's going to go up. It's like with college football, where come those bowl games, like you see dudes like stock rise like exponentially up rounds just for performing in like 1 or 2 games.
Yeah, and like perfect example, a couple of years ago with on Villanova, fucking Dante DiVincenzo, that guy was like practically a nobody, and he just absolutely ate the whole tournament and led his team to a chip, and then he was drafted. So that just goes to show you what it can do. Dante DiVincenzo was a good player, but was not even anywhere near where he was on the level he was playing at in the tournament. So the tournament really drove his draft stock through the roof. So these guys are playing for everything. They're playing for a paycheck. They're playing for respect, gratitude, all the whole 9 yards. So I just love it. It's a cool tournament. I'm glad I got into it this year. Because it's a lot of fun to watch. I really do enjoy it. So I'm going to continue to be into it and continue to learn more about these teams. Another team I actually liked watching too is UCLA. They made all the way to the Sweet 16 as well. They were at 11 seed. They had to play to get in too. So they had to beat a team to get in. They then beat a 6 seed BYU team by very convincingly 11 points. And they smashed an Abigail Christian team that upset Texas by 20 points. And now they got a really tough task against Alabama. Like I said, I got them going to the finals. UCLA is a really sneaky team. I do think they're going to get beat up by Alabama probably. Just Alabama's really good this year. But I'm happy they made it this far. I'm proud of that team. Good team. But I think that their luck will probably run out.
Oral Roberts. I don't know where they got that name.
I was looking for them. Oh, okay, they're up here. That's why I was looking at the other divisions. They're in the South Division. So yeah,
I don't know where they get that name.
They come into town, bro. And they beat a 2 seed Ohio State with some of the best players in the country, like EJ Liddell, bro. They just sent his ass packing, bro. They just
with a name like that. Never heard of him.
Or Roberts. At least Ohio State got over, right, guys?
That was probably the biggest upset of the whole tournament.
Yeah, so far, 100%, because Ohio State was one of the heavy favorites to go far as well. They have a lot of talent. And I picked them. Let me see. I'm checking my bracket now. I had them in the Elite 8. So that just goes to show how confident I was in them. And they were losing to Baylor, who's the team I had winning it all. So that just goes to show you. I had them going pretty far. They were 2 seed, very solid, a lot of talent, good coach, good organization. So I was really shocked. And they're still fucking eating, man. They beat a Florida team as well now. They're pretty convincingly, in my opinion. So they're out and playing Arkansas this week. The 3 seed, and Arkansas is playing really well too. They beat a Texas Tech team with the sensation Mac McClung. That guy.
That was an impressive win too. That was a close game.
That was a close game. They pulled it out close. I thought Texas Tech actually might have it for a minute, but Arkansas is pretty solid, so they ended up winning at the end.
I watched the whole thing. It was awesome. I felt like at the end they took the ball out of McClung's hands though a little bit.
They did. I mean, he's good, man. They should have let him continue to eat because, I mean, obviously he's a generational talent. So just
making some plays.
Let him work. Yeah. That boy got hops too.
But yeah. I definitely had Texas Tech moving on, but
I did too. I had Texas.
That was a tough game for sure. That was great.
Yeah.
That was one of the better games of the whole tournament.
Yeah, no, 100%. That was a really close one down to the wire. So yeah, that was a really interesting game to watch. Houston Rutgers game was actually very good too. That game came down right to the wire. Houston ended up winning by 3, but they better hope they bring a better game plan against Syracuse because Syracuse.
Yeah, I saw that
right now.
They were actually down for a bit too, like the last couple minutes.
They were.
I think it was like the last 5 minutes. They were trailing the whole time. They ended up pulling it off at the end.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. They were down the whole game against a 10 seed, and I know Houston's another heavy favorite to go far. They're a really solid team, 2 seed as well.
The good thing about that though is because they're not bounced, it could be a wake up call.
Oh yeah,
you know? With the one and done, you can't get a wake up call when you lose.
No, not at all. And like another team that's like is scaring me a little bit is Michigan. They're a 1 seed. They beat they beat Texas Southern by 20. That was a 16 seed versus 1. So I'm not even gonna count that game as anything competitive. But LSU for a while in this game in the round of 32, they gave him a lot of trouble. Like Michigan pulled away at the end and won a bit convincingly. But they like that whole game. I thought LSU had it. I really did. I thought
that was a very back and forth game for sure. I was watching that. That was just like basket for basket.
It sucks they had to draw a 1 seed, in the second round. But LSU I think could have made a run too. They looked pretty damn good in that game, and Michigan I think got lucky at the end. So
yeah, that was a great game, back and forth.
Mm-hmm. But actually, this game actually turned into a blowout. I thought it was going to be a lot better because I thought Colorado was a solid team, but Florida State ended up piecing them by almost 20. I actually have Florida State beating Michigan this week for an upset. So take that how you want it. But I just think Florida State's built to win. That's a good team, and
I can see that.
I got them going to the Elite Eight. So. This conference is tough. The Eastern Conference, I mean, whoever comes out of these games, Michigan, Florida State, UCLA, Alabama, I think it's going to be Bama and Florida State. Those are 2 very, very good teams. So just to go through Sweet 16 games, our picks for these games. First game, we all got Gonzaga beating Creighton. So that's a pretty self-explanatory why I don't think Creighton got enough. Moving on to the next game in the West region, we have USC and Oregon. I think this is going to be one of the best games of the weekend. Both of these teams are very solid. I got Oregon, like I said, I got them going to my Final Four. That's my sleeper team going out. But what do you guys think? 6 seed USC versus 7 seed Oregon. What do you guys think?
Taking Oregon.
Same. Oregon to you guys too. Yeah, I just like how their team's built. They're very scrappy, so I like it. Moving on to the East Division, we got Michigan, Florida State. I have Florida State upsetting Michigan as well. What about you guys? Michigan is the 1 seed.
I think Michigan hangs on and they advance.
I got Michigan too.
Cool. Okay, I'll be the lone dog on that one, so I'll take Florida. But then we go to the next game, UCLA, which is a very hot team. They're playing Alabama. I do have Alabama in this one. What about you two?
I'm going Bama.
Bama, baby.
Bama.
Roll Tide.
Broken Bama.
Oh, my God. That's only an insider some of us will know.
You okay, kid?
No. I've got dry bars. And I'm running out of 10.
Moving on to the South Division now. We got Baylor and Villanova. Villanova's been surprising a lot of people. They were the 5 seed, and a lot of people picked them actually to lose first round, a huge upset to Winthrop, the 12 seed. But they ended up coming out and beating North Texas. Not very many, not either of them were very impressive wins. They're both, very low seeds, but they got their first damn good challenge this week against Baylor, a team I think that's going to go very far. So I think Baylor's going to take this one against them. What do you guys think?
Give me Nova with the upset.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, give me John Villanueva. Give me him.
Okay.
Charlie.
All right, my Baylor Bears, bro. I got them going all the way. So whatever. We'll turn the other cheek, right, Baylor? We'll turn the other cheek. Moving on to the next one, Arkansas and Oral Roberts. I mean, how the fuck?
Oral who?
Oral Roberts, man, the 15 seed.
Fucking. Is he? I mean, that name alone tells you they're gonna lose. They're gonna be on the floor giving the other team fucking oral right there. They're gonna be blowing it worse than the refs are gonna.
Well, they already had EJ Liddell and the boys in Ohio State blowing their dicks, and then now and then they moved over to Florida and made them blow them too. So it's getting kind of tough to pick against Oral Roberts. I've been wrong both times, but I think this is where it ends. I think Arkansas is a solid team, and I think they proved their toughness last week against Texas Tech. So I think I'm going to take Arkansas there.
Yeah, I like Arkansas, but give me Oral Roberts with the Cinderella story. Let's go.
I love that. I definitely
Let's go.
I love that. What are you taking, Mikey?
Oh, Roberts in the corner. They pregnant. Nah, I got Arkansas. Oral Roberts going to be blowing it.
Yep. That's I think this is where the retail run stops here. I think they're done here at this round. But
give me Roberts, man. They're gonna take it. Let's go.
I love it. It's fucking hilarious. They've crushed so many dreams, but I hope it keeps going. I mean, you got to root for the low seeds. I'm 100% rooting for them, but I don't think it'll continue. But anyways, moving into the last region, Midwest, we got Loyola Chicago and Oregon State. Like I said before, Oregon State got through a lot of tough teams before this point. 5 seed Tennessee, and they got through a 4 seed. Cade Cunningham led Oklahoma State team, and they beat both very convincingly. So they're very hot. But I'm gonna stick with Loyola, dude. That old lady, bro, she's like a fucking good luck charm. I don't know what she got going for her, but that bitch good luck. So like, as long as she's at the game, I'm taking Loyola Chicago. What do you guys think?
Give me Loyola. I love it. Let's go.
Loyola ain't no
Keep
roll.
it going.
Come on now.
Keep it going.
Quick little rolling from Loyola. And then for our last game on the bracket here for Sweet 16, we got Syracuse and Houston. This is a tough one, man. I don't even know who I'm going to take for this one. Syracuse has been really impressive lately as an 11 seed. They've been beating up some good teams. And Houston has not looked so convincingly well. They killed the first team they played, which is a 15 seed Cleveland State. Like, who the fuck even is that? But the second round they played a 10 seed Rutgers, who was a pretty solid team, but they shouldn't have had a problem with them. They should have handled, and they really didn't. They won by 3 points in a shootout, and like Dill said, they were behind the whole game. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Syracuse or Houston in this one?
I think that was the wake up call, and I'm going Houston.
Yeah, that's fair. What do you think, Mike?
Nah, Q's is gonna fly their ass back out to Houston.
Ooh. So you're taking Q's?
Because you got that orange shirt on.
Yes, sir. It's actually more of a salmon, like a highlighter, actually.
Head's looking like an orange peel, body's looking like an orange peel, kid. You're all for the Q's.
This is orange.
Look at him. He's Q'd out.
Yeah, baby. Blue and orange, baby.
I like Hughes a lot. I hope they do win. I do think I'm on Dill's side with this one, though.
Draining like Carmelo.
Yeah, I'm on Dill. I'm on your side with this. I think that they're gonna wake up after.
We get the hoodie. We get out the hoodie too. Go ahead.
I want Hughes to win. Don't get me wrong. I like Hughes a lot, and I think their team is pretty solid. I think that Houston will get it done here as a wake up call from the last game where they almost blew to Rutgers. So that's what I'm taking there. But then if we move on to the Elite Eight and the teams that we thought were going to move on, we got Gonzaga and Oregon in the Elite Eight. Like I said, I have Oregon as my sleeper pick. So give me the fucking biggest upset of the whole tournament. Oregon over Gonzaga in the Elite Eight. It's going to happen. I hope so, at least, because that'll be rolling the big bucks in my bracket if it does. I'm assuming you guys are going against my pick on that one. What do you guys think?
What was it again? I was too busy in hoodie mode.
Gonzaga and Oregon.
I got Zaga, bro.
Zags.
Fair, and they should be heavy favorites, but you have to put some upset in there, right? So I'm putting some seed that's not supposed to be in there, which is Oregon. So give me a Final Four appearance for Oregon, because you know what I mean. In the South Division, we would have we had split opinions on this one, so this would be a little bit tough. But Baylor, Villanova versus Arkansas for the most part. Most people took Arkansas. I don't know. I have Baylor advancing to the Final Four, but you guys don't think Baylor's going to get by Nova. So what do you guys think will happen there?
Who else is in there? Oral Roberts, right?
It'd be either Baylor, Villanova, or Arkansas, or Roberts.
All right, we're going Oral Roberts again. Let's go. All the way.
Could you imagine that they go to the Final?
It's going to be Oral Roberts versus the Zags. Let's go.
LFG.
That would be
A-B.
That would be next level crazy if that happens. But what do you think, Mike?
What was it again?
It's either the 4 teams that could come out are Baylor, Villanova, Arkansas, or Roberts. Who do you think is coming out into the Final Four?
I got Nova.
Nova. Okay, so you think Nova's going to go to the Final Four?
Yes, sir.
I respect it. They're hot right now. They're playing good, at least against not great teams. So we'll see how their first challenges this week. And then moving into the East, there's mixed reviews on this one too. So we'll not for the bottom one, the Alabama game. I think we're all pretty set on Bama winning that one. So Alabama versus either Michigan or Florida State. I took Florida State. You guys took Michigan. So I'm going to call it how I see it here. If it's Florida State versus Alabama, I think I'm going to take Alabama there. I think Florida State's run ends there. Alabama moves on to the Final Four. What do you guys think?
Doesn't matter who Bama plays, they're going to win. Just win, baby, win.
Just win, baby.
I like Michigan. Michigan's going to go.
Okay, I respect that. Michigan will definitely go 1 seed. And Tom Brady wants them to win too, so it's okay with me. Let's see. And then the last conference here, we got all of us, I think, took Loyola. So Loyola Chicago versus either Syracuse or Houston. I know we had mixed reviews there. Man, that's a tough one. Because if Loyola wins that one too, man, they're going to be fucking steaming hot. I think I'm going to stick with Houston, though. Oh, do I? Oh, man, I don't know. Who would you take?
Give me Loyola. We're going to have Loyola and Oral Roberts in the Final Four. That's what's going to happen. First 2 number 1 seeds.
That's really funny.
Yep.
I hope
those 2 teams versus 2 1 seeds.
I hope to God that happens.
It's going to be nuts. I hope they both make it.
What do you think, Mike?
Oh, you know. Yes, sir.
All right, so let's take Loyola.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Q's? So you're going Q'sy?
Q's, baby.
You're going Q's to the Final Four.
Q's, baby.
Wow, okay. I respect it.
They want to throw dirt on them, huh? They want to throw dirt on them. They thought they were out. Even I thought they were out.
I hope they go that far. I like Q's.
I think they're going to get in there.
I love that shit. Fuck it. They're close, man. They're knocking on the door. 2 more games. They'll be there.
They're going home.
I think they're going to lose 2, unfortunately, but we'll see what happens. They could definitely be in. So, yeah, I mean, my Final Four is Oregon, Alabama, and Baylor. Well, it was Baylor and Illinois, so Illinois got fucked early by Loyola. So you know what?
You have to roll with them. Come on.
All right. Yeah, I'm 100% to it. I think I love how their bracket has panned out. I like the teams that they're going to match up against. You know what? Lock it in. Oregon, Alabama, Baylor, and Loyola. That's my Final Four prediction. It's kind of wacky, I know. Only 1 seed making it in is Baylor, but that's where I'm at.
And if you thought yours was wacky, I got the Zags, Michigan, Loyola, and Oral Roberts. Let's go. Champions 2021. Let's go.
Oral giving out Oral all the way to the fucking final.
That's how they win every game.
Finals, bro.
That's how they win every game. They're blowing the refs.
I can't even imagine. Like, could you imagine if they go to the Final Four?
Oh, it's gonna happen.
I hope it does, man. I'm rooting for it. And they're my number one. I'm their number 1 fan right now. So, and Mike, let's see. What would your Final Four be?
Zags, Bama, Villanova, and Q's.
You're going with some of those big time schools. You're going with the schools that are always in there, Nova and Q's. But yeah, Gonzaga is definitely overdue. Yeah, I mean, I know Gonzaga is the favorite, and I know a lot of people are picking them to win. I just think that some team is really going to bring it to them. I think they're hot. Like, sometimes not having any losses is a bad thing to me. Like, I feel like it's just like you can get woked up by anybody. Like, if they came to play and they played a good game against you, like, you might just be sitting back relaxing thinking you're going to steamroll somebody, and they're going to come in and smack you in the face. You know what I mean? It
is, but in the tournament, it's one and done for everybody. So everybody's 0-0.
No, I know it. Trust me, I know. And it's like, that's like the mindset that you would hope they have. But I feel like they're young kids, man. They don't have the mindset. They think they're the best team in the world right now. And I mean, they are. But like, the way I look at it too is like, look at the fucking 16-0 Patriots in 2007. That's a 1-game elimination too. Who the hell thought they were losing anything?
The only team beating them is Oral Roberts. That's all I know. So they better hope they don't make it.
Oral Roberts. I'm convinced they can do anything at this point. Them and Loyola.
To me, with the Zags, it's like they come close to make it to the dance every year, but then they always get knocked off like just before they get to the Final Four. So I think they finally get in there. But again, to your point, sometimes having that loss before going into, especially to a playoff bracket, is crucial, especially with a young team that thinks that they're the shit. So I think they finally make it through and they get to the dance, but they don't push too far enough to win that dance. You know what I mean? Like they're going to strike out on prom night pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Dick's not getting wet on prom night for them. They're
going home alone.
striking out and cranking it, beating their dick.
They are gonna be getting their dick real wet, doing the limbo. Talk about dancing, mock it, undefeated. Let's go.
Yeah, no, I mean, it could definitely happen. This is one of the more stacked teams we've seen in a while. But I always go back to that point, like if Zion, his crew didn't do it, that team was fucking loaded. If his team didn't do it, it can definitely happen where they cannot do it. So,
yeah,
but Coach K usually doesn't win shit unless he's got the Olympic team on his side.
Needs LeBron.
He's a good coach and all, but like Duke just usually doesn't win. They usually just don't. Like they're a good team, but they never win the dance. They never go home happy, bro. They always go home fucking dick in hand. Always.
Yep.
A team that is still in it that has won a championship in the last 20 years. Okay, the last 20 years, the only teams that are still in it are Syracuse and Villanova. Those are the only two.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. That's why March Madness is cool. It's someone new usually every year. It's cool.
Another thing too is people don't realize it's not like the NBA, where you usually sign guys to multi-year deals. Like at college, it's like there's so much turnover. Whether people go to the NBA, they go to the G League, they go to a different school, they go to the league. So it makes it a lot harder, like to keep having sustained success. So it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like, and it's like
to keep pumping people out. It's nuts.
There's no draft either, so it's all recruiting. So it's like if you don't land the top players, then you're not gonna get lucky. You know what I mean? Like there's no snake draft, bro. We ain't doing a fantasy draft pickup here. You know what I mean?
Even if you do land the top players, nothing's guaranteed.
Yeah, and he might be leaving after his freshman year to go play in the pros. So all the players are super hungry. They all want that paycheck. So it's always fun to watch when they're playing for that.
If you guys had to pick a winner, who would you pick?
The Zags. They're winning it all. Undefeated season. They're doing it.
My pick is with Baylor. I really like how defensive oriented their team is. They got a great defense. They have great players in Jared Butler and Davion Mitchell. Yeah, he's solid too. He's an elite guard, and he has fucking just a ton of great shooting ability. He's averaging 14.2 points a game. Got a solid 3-point percentage, shoot the three ball. But Jared Butler himself, he's just a weapon. One of the best players in the league by far. The guy is had an AP All-American season last year. Even put a higher standard on himself this year, and he's once again top defender in the league. And he just has crazy versatility throughout all the major stat categories. So I just like him a lot. I think they'll match up well with Gonzaga's big guys if they make it that far. Like I said, I have Oregon actually beating Gonzaga in a crazy, crazy upset in the Elite Eight. So we'll see how that pans out. But my winner for the tournament is Baylor. So do you have any favorite, Mike?
I got to go with Bama. Like I said, I don't really watch college all that much, but Nick Saban's been putting on for the school for so long. I feel like the Bama basketball, when it's finally relevant, they got to do something with it. They're a higher seed as well, so they're not quite the number one seed, but they're still a pretty damn good team, pretty high up seed. So I think that they have a good shot to go ahead and do it.
No,
that'd be a cool storyline too.
Oh hell yeah!
Well,
Bama
they just won another national championship, so I mean they could add another.
Two of them, that would be unbelievable. Football and basketball, they'd be partying it up over there.
Has any college ever done that? Has they ever won football and basketball?
That's crazy.
I don't know. That's a crazy storyline though.
I gotta look that up now. It's gonna bug me.
Yeah, check that out first, then we'll move on.
That's crazy.
I mean, Mike, I'm like kind of on the same page. It could definitely happen. I have Alabama in the finals against Baylor, so that's how confident I am in them. I think they're a really solid team.
Mustachio is getting it done.
Mm-hmm.
Calling it now. They just got it.
Zags.
Oh yeah.
They definitely got it. No question. I just think history repeats itself, man. I live by that shit. So
I hear you, but the records are broken.
Records are broken, and I think this team is definitely good enough to do it. But why didn't Zion and the boys do it? I think that team was better than this team.
Zion was looking at an NBA contract.
I'm sure all these guys are too.
Nike was knocking at his door.
No team's ever done it in the same year.
You don't think these guys are gonna get drafted?
I don't know.
On an undefeated team, I would hope I'm getting drafted if I'm playing.
I know. Seriously, someone's going to. The mustache dude he's nice.
Mustache dude.
To answer that question from before, nobody's ever done it in the same season. There's only been 3 teams in general, 3 schools that have won the college basketball and the national championship anyway for football. So never in the same season, though.
That's pretty crazy.
Who knows? They
That's
could be
a storyline right there.
Could be right before our eyes, boys.
That'd be nuts. I mean, yeah. I mean,
I kind of hope they win now.
Thank you all for watching. Again, this is the Chosen Sports crew. So check us out. We put out some more content daily. You check us out Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. Get your fill in. We got the podcast up on YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor, all over the board, all over the map. Get in where you fit in. So again, thank you for watching. Peace out.
We out.